Hello and welcome. Today we're going to take a look at Nekros. We're going to make a build for him with high investment, focusing on his shadows and desecrate. I played around a lot with his builds and I found a combination that is useful to me. I'm going to show it to you now. Now let's start with the aura slot. I put in Summoner's Wrath because this gives a multiplicative bonus to your summon damage. That means that the shadows of your fourth ability do more damage, and it also can stack with other companions in your squad if they have this aura equipped. In the Exilus, I put in Coaction Drift to enhance this aura slot, but bear in mind that at the moment this interaction is bugged. This does not work. I put it in here just in case this gets patched in the future. If you want to put something else in the Exilus slot, I suggest either preparation or a little bit more range or more strength. Then we want the spoil because we want to focus on managing our energy economy a lot. I did not upgrade this mod because it is not needed, since the only increments you get are less health per corpse consumed. Since we are constantly regenerating health thanks to Nekros passive and GLOOM ability, we do not care to rank this mod, save the capacity. Then we have Shield of Shadows. This is the reason why we don't put Prime Sure-Footed in the Exilus slot. This gives us damage reduction up to 90% if you have all the shadows active, and also gives us elemental status immunity and knockdown immunity. This means you do not get heat procs, cold procs, or other element procs, and you do not get knockback. So you can use AoE like Prime Sure-Footed and you do not get knockdown. This is essentially better than Prime Sure-Footed because it also provides elemental status immunity. So no need to have Rolling Guard equipped. Then we have Equilibrium and Prime Flow for energy economy. I saw someone put purple Archon Shard instead of Equilibrium. I guess you can do that, but I personally tried it and it did not give me enough energy to sustain the abilities. So I decided to put one mod for Equilibrium instead of multiple Archon Shards. But that depends on you. I put in Prime Flow for the energy max, but Nekros has a low energy pool to start with, so I put also some blue Archon Shards for energy max that I'm going to show you later. Then we build for range, overextended, and Archon stretch. Range is essential both for gloom and survivability and to desecrate corpses, which are the main source of energy economy for Nekros, thanks to Equilibrium. Overextended makes us take a hit on ability strength, which is offset by the high strength mods we have equipped and both of the arcanes. Archon stretch, I put it in here instead of regular stretch because companion electricity procs can proc this mod. But in all honesty, if you have channeled abilities active, like we do for Gloom and Desecrate, you do not get the energy restore. I put it in here just because I ever found myself in a situation where I have zero energy and I can do with a little bit of sustain. Then we have Strength with Blind Rage and Precision Intensify. This applies only to the fourth ability, and bear in mind that we need to reach some strength values in this build, namely I believe 217 for Gloom to have the maximum slow of 95% and the maximum armor strip for Terrify for 100%, which we are already close. Arcane Camisado gives us our summons movement speed, and it provides us with up to 60% bonus strength on our next ability cast. This combined with the other 60% from Auto Augmented makes us reach very comfortably the 95% slow and the full armor strip on Terrify, and also boosts us the damage of our shadows. Now for the element ability, as I said, I put in Gloom for sustain and to slow enemies. This also works on the Exilus units, so this is very useful for survivability. You could put in Nourish because it boosts the damage of your summons, but I did not want to put in Nourish because I would have needed to build it for duration. As you saw in the build, we did not build duration at all. because we have a channel ability in Gloom and Desecrate, and we already have a good duration for Terrify. And the Shadows of the Dead only benefit from duration from a little bit of investment, which we have from the Archon shards. So I would need to put in more duration in the build, and there is no mod slot at the moment. So what I decided to do is put 2 Tau Archon shards for duration. This bonus gives us a 2% health decay on the shadows instead of the base 3%. You could technically put this down to 1%, but it requires a heavy focus on duration investment. So I just make do with 2 shards for the less 1%, and this is all the duration you need for this build. Also I have a Tau for casting speed, and I have 2 Taus for energy max. This is personal preference. I decided to put more energy max because, as I said, Nekros has a low energy pool, and this gives us a more comfortable room to work with while keeping Gloom active and his shadows recasted. Also, you can cast Terrify to armor strip the enemies to boost your summon's damage instead of Nourish. Now, the rotation looks like this. When you start the mission, you cast Desecrate immediately, and this will always be active for the duration of the mission. This gives us energy orb regeneration, health orb regeneration, which work well with Equilibrium. Then you need to kill some enemies to then summon them with the Shadows of the Dead. You need to keep this ability active at all times. Then when you have a high enough energy pool, you can cast Gloom and keep it active. You just need to remember to cast his 4th ability every so often to keep it active and gain the advantage from the probably sure-footed equivalent Shield of Shadows. I am playing here a defense and steel path, and as you can see, the defense target takes very little damage because the shadows draw all the aggro away from him. So this is a very comfortable frame to play in defense, in survival, and in other game modes which require control. It is not a very good frame for boss fights or extermination, but the shadows do very good damage. So bear that in mind. That was pretty much it. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you found that useful, and you take care now.